So hi everybody and welcome back. This is a C++ tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 154, and in this video we would normally continue with keywords because we have here so many keywords left, and we will continue. But in this video I want to announce that we start with a big new topic, which is classes. We will learn classes. And yeah, but before we can learn classes, I want that you go and read online about another topic which has something to do with classes, and this topic is what means object-oriented programming, in short OOP. So this kind of term you have to learn online, and the reason for that is you have to learn it online because there are many different kind of definitions, opinions, and so on. And you can see here in CPP reference.com, here is also a description of object-oriented programming, but you can see here this info block. It says this site is deprecated, which means you should not refer to it. And it's also not unmaintained, which means it is also not updated and something like that. And yeah, but they gave here a description about object-oriented definition. This is only one little part of it. And your job is now try to go online, try to find as much as information you get about object-oriented programming. It is not important that you understand it in full scale, because they are talking about many things about classes which we have not talked about because we are just starting with classes. Important is only that you get, let's say, so that you find anywhere a definition which is okay for you. And if you don't find anywhere any definition, that's also okay, because like I said, they will talk much about classes and we have not talked about classes at all. So, and why I'm talking about this one so much is because when we start learning classes, I could also say we start learning a new way of thinking, which is object-oriented thinking. But then you will see online many critics. They say that is not really object-oriented, that is something like class-oriented, or I don't know. There are so many different opinions online and so on. But important for a starter is actually, we will not care what really OOP means at start, at least not at start, but later perhaps, yes, we will care, but not at start. And the reason for that is we will just concentrate on classes, on this classes itself. So we will learn all about classes, how to use them, how to declare them, what they have, what they can do, and all stuff, or what we can do with classes. But why I'm saying now that you should still look about this OOP, this object-oriented programming. The reason for that is all time when people talk about classes, they will talk also about object-oriented programming a little bit, and that's why I say you should read this now online, try to see what the different opinions are and so on. And for our tutorial, we will not care about that much. We will only learn first classes. We will learn just how to use classes. And then you will hopefully realize that classes are absolutely powerful, and we get a new way of thinking with classes. And that's important, that you see that when we use classes, our thinking as a programmer changed a little bit. And what I mean with that is, till now, we programmed also much things in this tutorial, but you see, we have used classes which was already defined, but we have never defined our own classes till now. in our program so far. And now we will learn, when we learn now classes, we will also learn how to define our own classes. And this defining our own classes will change our thinking of programming a little bit, because we will realize, yes, we can make all easier. That means not you have to use classes, because like I said, till now we have also wrote programming codes in different exercises without any class created on our own. We have used other classes which was created, fundamental types, they are also classes, or string type, strings, there were also classes defined in namespace in other places and so on. That's not the point. The point is now we will learn define our own classes. And when we learn define this own classes, we have an absolute powerful, let's say, a new concept of thinking. And yeah, this is so important actually, that we will talk from now on almost all things with classes. Let's say I will refer all time to classes, and all that things what we learned so far, all the keywords and all the coming keywords, we will now combine more or less with classes. If it's possible, all things we have not to combine with classes, but most things what comes next, and all things what we learned so far, we can use in classes as well. Because I said you can almost throw anything in a class what we learned so far, not all things. There are things you can't. For example, this this main here in our programming code, there is only one main, but classes will have also functions, which means all what you can define in a function you can throw into a class. And yeah, you will see classes are absolute powerful. And yeah, but the problem with this powerful classes is there are also many rules to learn. So we will learn many things about classes. We have to consider many things. And yeah, with that said, I think this video I stop here, because your job is really try to search online what means this, like I said, this object-oriented programming, and perhaps you should also compare it perhaps for other programming styles, for example, functional programming or imperative programming or what are there other programming styles, scripting. I don't know, there are probably many different kind of styles. And yeah, try to read this, try to understand this as much as you can. Probably will not understand much, because they will talk much about classes, and we have never talked about classes till now. But the important part is you should just understand from now on. You will see when we talk about object-oriented programming, even if it's not absolutely the right definition of an object-oriented programming, we will talk about classes and not about the classes itself. Most time you can see it says here object-oriented programming, and here in this word object-oriented programming there is not the word class in it, but that's not absolute true. This object here in C++ is created all time from a class, which means you create first a class, and after the class you will create an object about this class. And that's why I say we will talk only about classes from now on. Anyway, the point is now, read this online. You can also read a little bit about classes if you want already a little bit online and see what they are talking, because classes is a real big topic. And all the things what we learned so far, we can almost put all the things in a class too, because yes, like I said, a function, for now we use most time things in a function, right? And a class can have a function too. They are only called methods in a class, more or less, but they are functions in the base things, and we put almost all things in a function right now, what we learned so far. So think about that, all what we learned so far, we will use in a class as well. And all the new keywords which we are going to learn, there are still many, I think. They will also be used in classes probably. We will all time combine this now with classes, because we are learning now, I say not object-oriented programming, but we learn now class-oriented programming. Let's call it this way as a starter. We learn class-oriented programming, then it's right. Then I don't mix up anything with other definitions and other things. We are learning classes, and we are learning why classes are powerful. And that's why I don't start right now something new in this video, because you should just read as much as possible with classes which you can. I mean object-oriented programming, and then in combination perhaps with classes a little bit, because you will see this two things are not working separately. They are all time in combination. And then we will learn all steps here in this tutorial from now on. I will all time use classes from this point on, I think. All right, I think I talked much, and you have an exercise to do, but this time it's just researching about OOP and perhaps trying to find a definition which is correct, because on the web you will find different definition, points of views, and so on. All right, with that said, like all time, if you have any questions, any complaints, write them in the comments. See you in the next video, and then we start with classes. And with classes we have, of course, also keywords which we are using in classes. Here are many keywords which we will use in classes, but I think there is also a class keyword. We start with this class keyword next time. So here with this, this looks very simple, just so little, but this is only an illusion. Class is big. All right, with that said, bye, good luck, and like all time, don't give up. And read this one too here, perhaps this side here of the CPP reference.com. Here you can start, but you can see this is deprecated, so should not be taken as the right definition of an OOP, for example, but it has still many informations in it. All right, with that said, bye, good luck, and have fun like all time.